Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be talking about the Nexxt Nebula 1200 AC router. It's a home router that has a lot of features inside of it, and we will be going through the steps by steps in terms of setting it up, how to use the app, and the different types of features that you have directly inside of the system. So let's take a dive. Alright, so now that we have unboxed, now we're going to plug our power adapter inside of our router. As you can see to the left, there is a power light that comes on the device once it is powered on. Okay, so our next step is going to be to plug our internet service inside of our router. It is going to be plugged into the WAN, which is our wide area network connection. That is going to give us our internet so that we can get internet connectivity. Now, if you look at the back, you will see where there is a password for the Wi-Fi. Now, the Wi-Fi is normally a Nexxt with some numbers. Once we enter in that information, we will get access to the router where we can further configure it. So now that we have entered those information, the IP address is 192.168.0.1. Now the default password is admin, that's admin. So that's the normal username and password for logging into a Nexxt router. Now once we scroll to the top and you go to your quick start, you will see where there is option for static IP address. We're going to choose dynamic IP address. That way we'll get an automatic address from our router or any other ISP. Now, as it regards to our Wi-Fi, we are going to give our Wi-Fi a name and we're going to give it a password. Now, for the name, we're going to change it from the Nexxt that it normally comes in, and then we're going to give it to Apple Home. And once we enter our SSID or Wi-Fi name, we're going to give it our password. So our password for this is going to be internet123, capital I. And then you have the option to use the same password as your login going forward for the router, or you could just choose another option to actually change the password, which is what we're going to do. So we're going to give it password as the password, capital P for the password, and then we're going to click next. And that's it. We've just programmed our router from scratch, ready for the internet for 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So once we have entered our password back in our device and we now have access back to the router, we're going to put in our password, which is password, to log into the device. And once we do that, then we're going to see the dashboard, which is going to tell us that we have internet access. It's going to give us a general overview of everything that is on the router in terms of your devices that are connected and your different menus on the left side. So if you look there to the right, you're going to see where there are 3 devices connected. You can individually select each device and change their settings in terms of their permissions that you would like to allow them to do. And you can give them various options. You can even block them from the system. You can change their settings in terms of their allowed time on the system. You can give them a day in the week, how many days in the week, how many hours in the day, and so on and so forth. So you have complete control over each individual connected device. Now over to the guest network is the area where you can create the different SSIDs. Now you can create a 2.4 and a 5 gigahertz for your guests, and you give them a separate password from your original network. So this way you won't have to be worrying about persons getting your original password. And then also you can give them a limited time to use the network, 4 hours, 8 hours, or always. As we go over now to the bandwidth control, you can actually limit the bandwidth for each individual device. This way you can give priority to what needs more bandwidth than the others. Now over to the IPTV section, this is the area where you can turn on your settings for IPTV on port 3. Now this port is dedicated for IPTV if you turn the setting on. If you don't, it's a normal LAN port. So here you can actually have your traffic for IPTV services, and this is the port that is there for it. So once you have an IPTV VLAN, you can just add it to that port and you will definitely get your IPTV service independently. So for your MAC filtering now, you have a blacklist and you have a whitelist. So for the blacklist is where you would actually have the number of persons that you do not want to connect. These are persons by their MAC address, you can block them. And also you have a whitelist. The whitelist area is the area that you can add all the devices that you would want to connect to the network. Now, the easy way to get all the persons who you want to get connected is to add them with the simple click of this blue area right here, and it will add all the devices that are currently connected to the network. And once you have that whitelist now, then all the persons who are not on this list would not get access even if they have the password for your wireless network. Now let's go ahead and download the Nexxt wireless app. Now this is the app that is going to give us access to the same router from a different angle. However, it is going to make us see some different features that are not readily available on the web GUI. So it is also flexible. It is also a way of getting to the router remotely, meaning that from other areas all over the world once you're connected. Okay, so once you get connected now, you can say control now and type in the password, which is the password to log into the router, which is password for us, capital P. Once you type in that information and you press connect, then you will see all the devices that are connected to this network. You will see this doesn't have any storage support, but you could do that as well. And also the main menu where you can see the schedule for the Wi-Fi router. So you can schedule it so that you can turn it off at a certain time, turn it back on. And this can be done for all days of the week or a specific time of the week. For now, we're going to turn it off. So the internet info is going to give you a general overview of the router, IP address, and so on. And also for the Wi-Fi and password, those are where you can find you can also hide the network. This is the area where you can change the name for both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz connection. Now for this area now, which is called accelerate Wi-Fi. Now what this does is that it actually scans your environment, see the different frequencies that are being used, see if you're on the best that is available at the moment. And as you can see, the number is going down, which is basically telling you that it's not at 100% at the moment. So it is basically completing at 50, which means that it needs to be optimized. Now let us click optimize, and it is going to actually change the frequency and give us the best signal. And there we're fully optimized. Now for our transmission power, you're going to see we're currently at high. And also for security, it's showing us that we are also at 100%, which means everything is a go. And that's just about it. Thank you for watching. Do like, subscribe, share, and look out for the next video. Thank you.